Hello everyone and welcome to Needle Happy Mama. So today I'm going to show you how to make this sensory spiral snail pattern. It has this raised stitch on the shell itself, and it has these little belly chains, and on the body itself it has these antennae that can be curled and uncurled, and for our fine motor skills we can put this guy back in and back out and play with him any way we want to. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to make this little guy. Now he is a part, this is the baby snail, which is a part of my bigger parent snail. So this parent snail has these bobble stitches, which you can push in and pop back out, kind of like poppets. It also has the belly chains, and then it also has these ridges on the body itself. And then it also has these antennae that can be curled and uncurled. So yeah, this is the parent snail, and this is the baby snail right here. And I'm going to show you how to make this little guy today. Okay, so we're going to need a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, US size K. So I'm going to need one of these, stitch marker, and scissors. And if we do need a darning needle, but this one is optional. You can definitely do it all with just the crochet hook. So first thing I'm going to do, you'll also need some stuffing. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to pick our colors. So I'm going to go ahead and use this bright pink by Brunette Blanket Brights for the shell itself right here. And then we're going to use the Unicorn Brights for the body right here. So this is the Unicorn Brights by Brunette Blanket Brights. Very colorful for the kiddos, kids of all ages. And then of course this is called Bright Pink, also by Brunette Blanket Brights. So we're going to start with the shell. All right, here we go. So for the shell, we're going to do the magic ring, and we're going to half double crochet 10 into our magic circle, magic ring, however you want to call it. So we're going to do our first one right here, and then we're going to go ahead and half double crochet 10 into here. And I'm just going to mark this guy so I don't lose him. Here. All right. And 2 and 3, 4, 5. If you need to pull a little bit sooner, you can. Try not to pull too hard though. Sometimes this yarn can break. All right, here we go. And then just pull it tight. There we go, nice and tight. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put 2 half double crochets into each of these half double crochets, but we're not going to put it into our stitch, our top stitch. We're going to put it into our third loop here that was created by the half double crochet. Just going to move my stitch marker here. I'm going to increase. So at the end of this, we'll have 20 half double crochets. So we'll put 2 into each third loop around. There we are. I'll do one more with you guys, and then I will meet you at the end of this round. Okay, now we're back here to our last 2. So I'm going to do the last 2 with you. Increase. Just, there we go. Increase this guy here. So now we have 20 half double crochets, and then you'll see already how the spiral is starting to form. Now we're going to increase to 30. So we'll half double crochet 1 into the third loop and half into the first third loop, and then half double crochet 2 into the next third loop. So there's, we start with 1, and then we put in our second one. This will be our increase here. And then half double crochet 1 into this third loop and 2 into the next, and so on. And I will meet you guys at the end of this. All right, we're back here. I've got 2 more left. We will finish with an increase. Our last stitch will be an increase stitch. All right. So now we're done with round 3. We've increased to 30. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do 30 all the way around. So 1 row of 30, no increases on this round. And don't forget to visit me at Needle Happy Mama on Etsy and Needle Happy Mama on Instagram. There we go. All right, I'll meet you guys at the... Okay, so I have 2 more half double crochets to do here for our 4th round. Okay. I'm going to move my stitch marker. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start decreasing. So we're single crochet or half double crochet 1 and then half double crochet 2 together. So we're going to decrease it back down to 20. Okay, I'll do one more with you. So I'm going to half double crochet into 1 and then half double crochet decrease. So yarn over, all in a 3rd loop. We're going to continue to go all in a 3rd loop. So we yarn over into the 3rd loop, yarn over into the 3rd loop of the 2nd one, and through all 5. So half double crochet 1, and then half double crochet decrease the next 2, then yarn over into our 3rd loop, yarn over through all 5 on our hook. I'll meet you guys. All right, we're down to our last 3 half double crochets here. So we're going to end with a decrease. So we've got our half double crochet 1 into the 3rd loop and then half double crochet decrease in our 3rd loop. There we are. Just move my stitch marker here. Now we're going to half double crochet 2 together all the way around, and then we're going to have 10 left. So this is our last round. So we're going to go ahead. Also, this entire shell is worked in the 3rd loop. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to have double crochet decrease 2 together all the way around. So it'll be 10 of them. Sheesh, making a bit of a mess of this one here. There we go. Okay, and then like I said, all the way around, I'll meet you guys at the end of this round. All right, we're back to our last 2 half double crochet decreases into our 3rd loop. There we are. Okay, I'm just going to remove my stitch marker and we can close this off. Give yourself a bit of extra yarn here. So for closing, about 14 inches I usually go with. Probably don't even need that. All right, so this is where we're going to stuff now. So you need your stuffing here. I use the polyester fiber fill, or poly, I believe it's called fiber fill. I don't know if it's polyester, but I assumed it was a short for that. Okay, make it as full as you want it to be. You can see how this spiral has formed, and it continues to be formed on this side with our decrease. So now we're going, when we close it up, we are going to close it up using our 3rd loop still, so that we continue that spiral. A little bit more. Just trying to see if it's quite as stuffed as that one. There we are. Okay, so we're going to go into our 3rd loop here. So when it gets a little bit tighter like this, you can just turn it out a little bit and you can find your 3rd loop right here. And then just pull this through. Also, because it is 10 stitches that we're closing up, you can pull a little bit as you go too, and it'll help in the end for the yarn not to break, which if you're gentle enough, you'll be fine, but there we go. I tend to do this too. I'll go in to behind the top two like this if it gets a bit tight to find our third loop, which is stuck right here. It doesn't want to come out. So I go in behind it and I find it sometimes too. There we are. You know, just a couple little tricks of the trade that I've learned along the way. It's a bit harder to bend it out like I was before when you're starting to close it up this much. So I just pull it tight a little bit as I go as well. So just go like this in the back and push your hook down, and you'll find your third loop like that. Oops. Pull it through. Pull it tight a little bit more. Here we are. There we go. Almost there. One more left here. There we are. All closed up. So what I do as well is I'll take my darning needle to hide it a little bit, and you can definitely still use your hook to hide it, but I like to go around a little bit more on the inside here just to make sure it doesn't open up on you. There we are, and then just go one back. There we go, and then always shape it a little bit. Now we can just get rid of that and cut it right here. There we are, there's our... So we're going to chain one on to our crochet hook, and we're going to insert it right here where we can see that there are two in between, right? And we don't want it to be too uneven, so I'm going to start here where there are these two right here, and then I'm going to do 8 over, and I'll still be able to be in this round right here. Okay, so into any of the raised stitches on this one right here, you can see where the spiral is, 1, 2, 3 over, or just 1 over from there. And we're going to insert it. Of course, it doesn't really matter where you put it in. You're the only one that's ever going to know that it's not absolutely perfect. So we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to go straight across as close as we can get, even. So just kind of pick from there over to here. And we're going to go ahead and put it into the raised stitch on this side. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through like a slip stitch. Yarn over and pull through. Make sure it's how you want it. That looks good to me. All right, and we cut one off. Then we go ahead and do the same thing over here. So as you see, if you go over this way, it just depends on where it'll, that would look good too, right? So you go 8 stitches over from there. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here, and it would be on either side right here. That's actually pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you go a little bit further or less than that, it doesn't matter. It's not an exact science. You can also do this, by the way, instead of casting one on, you can just pull it right through the stitch and yarn over it. So I'm going to chain 10 again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, just go over to the other side right here. Then to here. Let's see if that looks even. And pull through and slip stitch through and then pull through. And then you can see that you've got them right here. Looks like a little purse. All right, perfect. So cut it off and clean up your ends. I'll show you how I clean up one of my ends, and you can do the rest and meet me back here after. All right, so I just go through here with my crochet hook. 0 sewing required, or 0 needles required. Sewing needles anyways, and just pull it through. Okay, now we're back and we've got it all cleaned up. So you can see you've got your little belly chains right there. So what we're going to do next is we're going to work on our body. I'm going to go ahead and use my Unicorn Brights from Banana Blanket Brights. And we're going to do our magic circle again. And this time we're going to single crochet 8 into our magic circle. So there's 1. And I'm just going to mark my first stitch. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull it tight here. There we go, and now we're just going to go ahead and go 8 around for 11 rounds. And I will meet you guys at the end of those 11 rounds. Okay, I'm just back for a quick note here. Stuff as you go for sure. Unless you have a stuffing tool, and then you might not need to until you're all the way to your 12th row. So right now I'm at my 7th row. So I'm just going to stuff right here at this particular part. And then I'll meet you guys again, like I said, at round 12. All right, I'm back with round 12 done. I'm going to finish stuffing now. Now this is usually where I do all the stuffing that I'm gonna need to do in this part of the body, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to decrease to 4 and then increase to 4. So usually I can't stuff after that. At least not with my finger. If I had a stuffing tool, perhaps I could. Make sure you shape it a little bit. So put a little bit more in there. Then we're going to go ahead and do that decrease round. All right, there we go. Like I said, we'll do 4 single crochet decreases around, then 4 single crochet increases around. So there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and decrease 1. And 2 and 3 and 4. All right, and then we're going to do 4 single crochet increases now, or yeah. So in each single crochet, we're going to put 2 single crochets in until we're back to 8. So we're making the neck part of our body right now. So we're going to go ahead and put, didn't move our guy yet. So 1 and 2. 4. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. There we go. Now we're back to our 8 stitches. Now we're going to go ahead and do another decrease round, and we're going to put, or increase round, and we'll put 2 single crochets into each single crochet. So by the end of this round, you should have 16. So I will meet you at the end of this round. So 2 single crochets into each single crochet. All right, okay, so we're back here now. So we've got 16 single crochets all the way around. Now we're going to do 3 rows of 16. So I will meet you guys at the end of our 3rd row of 16. All right, here we are, back at our 3rd row of 16. So now we're going to go ahead and do 8 single crochet decreases around, and then our head will be done. Then we can close it up. That's 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and our last decrease right here. And we can just tie it off. So give yourself a bit of extra for closing up. So this is where we're going to finish stuffing our head. Stuff it, and like I said, and what you can do for sure, if you want to put some crinkly paper in here just for a little bit of extra, like I said before, and this would be the time to put anything rattly or crinkly into the head. Although babies might just end up chewing on the antenna, which is perfectly fine too. Get a little bit extra there. And when I close up, I prefer to use the outside loop only of my stitch instead of going into the full single crochet around. So I go ahead and I go through the outside loop only, a little bit of a cleaner close. The other thing is that if you have a lot to close, it's just a little less bulky to pull through your yarn. Obviously we only have 8 stitches here, which is not a big deal, but if you had more it would help. So we're just gonna have to pull through all of these with our hook. No needle necessary. And remember to visit me at Needle Happy Mama on Etsy. I don't have a lot of patterns up just yet, but I'm working on it. And I'm just going to go through this one more time here. I started and pull it tight and then just shape it a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then just pull it back in here. There you go. Just a few more times. Give it a little bit of extra. There we go. Perfect. And then just get it cut off. There we are. All right, there's our little body. So next thing we're going to work on is the antenna. I'm going to use the opposite color here for my antenna. Just going to cast one on and I'm going to chain 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to go into the second chain from the hook. So not this one, but the second one. And we're going to put 2 single crochets into each chain on the way down. So there will be 8 when you're done. So be single crocheting 2 into each of the 4 going down here to make our little curly antenna. This is 6. And 7. and 8. Okay, and just close it off, pull one over. Make another one. I'll meet you here when you've got your other one made. All right, and we're back. We've got our 2 little antennas. So we're going to tie our antennas to the top of the head. I'm going to go into here. So this is our closing round, and this is our decrease round here. So just going to go into here and there. I'm going to pull this guy here through one of them. And then we're just going to do a double knot here. I'll go through twice, tie it off, just like that. And one more time. So it's one of our little antennas, and then we'll do the other one on the other side, even with the other one, as much as we can anyways. With continuous rounds, it doesn't always work out too even. And just give it a double knot here again. Another knot. There you go, there you got your 2 little antennas. All right, and here we are, got it all cleaned up. So now I'm just going to put a little body into our snail shell, like so. There you go. You have your little snail shell all done, and your snail, a little sensory snail. Well, thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. And again, remember, Needle Happy Mama on Etsy and on Instagram. Look me up and have fun making some more little sensory snails.